This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
Today is Orange Shirt Day, National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. If you haven't purchased an orange shirt, or maybe you couldn't find one, maybe the organization that you reached out to ran out of them, I would still recommend donating and asking to purchase a shirt once they have more in stock for next year. There are tons of local resources where you can get orange shirts that are supporting Indigenous-owned organizations. Or even, you know what, there's a lot of local businesses that are selling orange shirts that are putting all of those proceeds towards these organizations. So do your research. And if you need help, you can always reach out to us. We have a lot of information. So Orange Shirt Day does exist to signify the time of year when Indigenous children were historically taken from their homes to residential, quote-unquote, schools. The official tagline is "Every Child Matters" and reminds Canadians that all people's cultural experiences are important. Phyllis Webstad was taken from her home as a child, stripped of her clothes, including the orange shirt that her grandmother bought her. So now she tours the country telling her story. Also wanted to remind you that today is solemn for many. A lot of Indigenous people are being called upon to do lots of things today. Don't reach out to them to answer questions. Do your own research. The U of A has an amazing course that's free right now, Indigenous Canada.
You took it.
I did take it, and it was important. And I'm ashamed and embarrassed that I didn't know. I'm ashamed and embarrassed that I wasn't educated. I was very ignorant about residential schools and school survivors. So I do encourage you to do that. I can give you the information on that as well. Horlock Park today, there's going to be teachings between 10:30 and 2:30. You can receive a tree to plant provided by Turtle Island, Edmonton, to honor residential survivors and victims. MacEwan University between 9 and 3 p.m. will have an event outdoors. Between 11 and 4 p.m. at Westridge Community, they'll have teachings, drummings, and songs. And also, Ryder and I donated our day of wage today, our combined wage, to Bent Arrow YEG, which have been serving Indigenous children, youth, and families in Edmonton and area since '94. And they're doing a free online Facebook Live event as well.
Something
Good. Brought to you by A&D Tutoring. Wonder, learn, grow. For more info, visit adtutoring.com.
Play 107.
Something that I noticed online yesterday, our friend Amy Volume, she does a radio show in Ottawa.
Ottawa, yeah.
She tweeted out yesterday saying that she was donating her entire day's wage to Indigenous Women's Support Center in Ottawa. And I thought that was so great. And she said, I encourage my fellow broadcasters to do the same. So that inspired me, and Ryder and myself have decided to donate our day's wage today to Bent Arrow YEG, who have been serving Indigenous children, youth, and families in Edmonton and area since '94 with a dedication to guidance, support, and healing. So we want to send this out to you. If you are willing, if you can afford it, please donate your wage today. There are so many local organizations that could use those donations. I just posted on Play 107's Instagram and tagged a bunch of organizations in the caption that you can follow that have their website in their bio that you can go and donate to.
Awesome.
Tell me something good.
My story is about the Kidney Project's implantable bioartificial kidney that has just earned a $650,000 prize from Kidney X to continue in its development. So this would help people that are suffering with kidney disease from using dialysis as a means to clean their blood, and it would do some damage to the transplant waiting lists because it's an artificial kidney. So just a really big move. My family got hammered with cystic kidneys like the generation before me on my mom's side.
Okay.
I think 12 of the 13 cousins ended up with cystic kidneys, my mom being the only one that didn't. And that's how we lost my aunt. My uncles had 3 kidney transplants, and then mom's cousins, same deal. Just a really difficult disease for our family. So anytime I see any technology, any science breakthroughs when it comes to kidneys, it sure is nice to see. So this is a big one.
And your mom was a nurse, so You should send her that article.
Yeah.
She'd probably love to see that they're working on stuff like that.
Tell me something good.
We have gotten a lot of texts this morning about the Henday eastbound being extremely backed up, but now we're starting to get some hearsay on the text line about what is shaking down on the Henday.
There are 3 cop cars that are surrounding a furnace truck.
A furnace company truck is making everyone late for work this morning.
I guess you could say things are heating up.
It's not very cool of this furnace van to be making everyone late. I'm not a fan of this story. As much as you're stuck in traffic, you're going to be late. Let's try to think positively here, okay? The cops are on it.
Yeah, you'll have a good reason to vent.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thanks. Thank you for checking out the show. Just read a story about a guy who is trying to impress a girl. And so when she's like, yeah, I'm super into yoga, he's like, yeah, me too.
The classic lie. When you're first just talking over text message, like
Yeah.
I used to lie all the time. I'd be talking to a guy and he'd be like, what'd you do today? I'd be like, oh, I just got home from the gym. I'm exhausted. No, I didn't.
Okay.
So
similar to that.
So did he end up going to a yoga class with her?
Not only that, but she asked if he wanted to go to a hot yoga class.
Ooh.
He went. It was a very hot yoga class. He ended up passing out in the class from the heat and peed himself
No.
on the floor
No.
while he was passed out. And I think people probably thought, like, if you collapse in hot yoga, it looks like you're just taking a break. Or, like, if you end up in a really weird position from passing out, people are like, whoa, nice move. You know? Like, that's a downward dog, a real twist on it. Mm-hmm. But then he peed his mat, I suppose you could say.
That sucks.
So I wanted to know, after laughing pretty hard at this story, I get a real kick out of people that are trying to be cool and then end up failing miserably.
Okay, do you remember that time that I went to the Apple store and there was like a really attractive guy working and it's so expensive to get things done there. So I was there and I was like trying my best to get the cute girl discount, which is something you don't ask for. You just like hope you get it.
So you're just flirting with the guy.
Kind of, but it's never worked. I keep trying. It's never happened. But I leaned too far on the counter and I slid like it was a slippery surface. They must have just like wiped it down or something. I'm not really sure.
I don't remember this. What happened?
And my hands were sweaty because my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy when I try and flirt.
Yeah.
And I slid and I knocked over all of the phone cases that were on display. It was awful.
And
Did I get a discount? No. Did I have to pay for all the broken phone covers? Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we have a move. I have a nephew named Jameson, and he tried to do this really cool like skateboard stall thing, but he didn't have a skateboard.
What was he doing then? Just parkour?
He was just like jumping, and stalling on this park bench when my 2 brothers and I were all walking, and he did it right in front of us and ended up knocking. There was probably 8 beer bottles or like glass bottles on the back of this bench that all fell when he did it, and they all smashed. And all 3 of us at the same time were like, sweet move, Jameson. So now anytime my kid tries to look cool doing something and fails, I just say, sweet move, Jameson.
I love that.
Apparently she said it to a kid in school a couple days ago.
And his name's obviously not Jameson.
No, and the kid was just really confused, though.
Charlie is the best.
Sweet move, Jameson.
Play 107.
Okay, this is a little bit cringy, but we're asking you for your stories when you thought you were being cool and then it didn't work out for you. This text is the best. Grade 8 Much Music video dance.
Oh, yeah.
Black dress shirt, black pants,
Okay.
black belt,
So far, so good.
black shoes, red tie, black driving gloves.
Okay, but do you remember being that young and having an item that you thought was so cool? And to the point where you would walk around the room to kind of flash them at people.
Yeah.
You know, you'd show off your driving gloves. Cringe.
Yeah, I've got a cringy story about a school dance, actually. I had asked this girl, Ashley, out probably 35 times throughout elementary school, like every hockey dance, every school dance, just like Ashley was my first rejection every time. Finally, she said yes. This would have been about grade 7 or grade 8. And I was pumped. So I convinced my dad to dress up like a limo driver and like went and picked her up from her house with flowers, and like had an escort. So he wore like the sunglasses and the limo driver
Wait a minute.
hat.
Did you pretend he wasn't your dad? I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah.
And you're from a small town. She probably knew who he was.
Well, yeah, she did, but it was like meant to be like kind of a joke, but it just ended up pretty cringe.
That's kind of romantic, though. If she knew it was your dad, that is funny and cute. It really is.
I'll take it then. This text, also from about that age range, says, I tried to impress my crush by deep throating a banana. My crush was a girl and I was a 13-year-old boy.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
These stories are the best.
Basically, the story goes, I was out on a date with a chick. I was trying to impress her. So I got some wings, and I got the Last Dab hot sauce from Hot Ones as a gift for Christmas. I wanted to try it out, impress her, show I can handle hot food. It backfired a little bit. That hot sauce is ridiculous. Shouldn't even be sold because it hurts. I barely managed to get them down, though. It was a fight. I was crying. But I had to call the date short because the fight in my stomach was just, it was getting a little much. Like, it's the kind of fight where, shirts off, like there's no, you can't wear anything. You're in the fetal position. Oh my goodness. It was a rough time. I never heard back from her either. So it's kind of a waste.
Okay, so in my younger years, we didn't have a lot of money, so all our jeans came from like Walmart or Zellers back then. So my mom takes me to Bootlegger and I pick out this nice pair of jeans. I'm like, oh, that is it. So because of my first pair of fancy jeans, I'm rocking them almost every second day at school. I'm colorblind, and what no one told me was those jeans were purple. And I rocked those things for years. My mother didn't even tell me they were purple, and my friends didn't even want to make fun of me. So I wore purple jeans for years.
Rocking those 3 days a week at school.
Man, that guy loves his purple jeans.
He was the original Justin Bieber. Remember when Bieber was only wearing dark purple hoodies?
Just straight to purple. This is very embarrassing. I tried to wear my pants low enough that my boxers showed, and my best friend told me there was a streak on them. My God,
no.
That's awful. Okay, you've got another clothing story for us. Go ahead.
Oh my God, it was the first day of junior high. My mom bought me this really cool outfit. It was faux leather pants and a faux leather shirt, and I had the left earring glove that Michael Jackson wore. I thought, I'm going to look so cool when I go to school today. Nope.
Ready to reminisce? It's time for the Nostalgia Off with Ryder and Lisa.
From Ustara and Company.
Play 107.
We have a Skip the Dishes gift card to give away to somebody who votes for either Lisa's list or my list, as we've brainstormed some things that'll bring you back to better days. You just let us know who hit you and the feels harder. The wager between us today is the loser has to go and play in the park by themselves real hard for 20 minutes.
We got to film it. Have you tried to use the monkey bars as an adult? There's a reason that kids just fly across because they weigh 70 pounds.
Yeah, it hurts the hands.
It hurts. It hurts the shoulders.
Never hurt the hands growing up, though.
Okay, so get your vote on after we list off things that bring us back at 780-784-7107. My first one today is wearing a studded belt, but outside of the belt loops like Avril Lavigne.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Testing out No Tears shampoo.
And it failed.
Yeah.
Because didn't it actually mean no tears, like no tears in your hair?
Oh, what?
I don't know. That's just a conspiracy theory that I've heard. Waking up at 6 a.m. to watch Saturday morning cartoons, specifically like Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes.
Running over a finger with one of those hard square plastic things with 4 wheels on them that would occasionally come out in gym class. Remember those? Like really heavy, had the hole in the middle of them. And you'd slide around on your butt on them, but you'd always run over your finger and they hurt like hell.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Waiting for the number one music video on Much Music, even though you knew what it was, but you're still like, but will it be Spice Girls this week? Yeah, of course it will be. Duh.
Being really upset when you damage the tie tag on your Beanie Baby, knowing it can no longer be used as your retirement fund.
Seriously. Getting a sore arm from unrolling the window in the back of your parents' car.
And my last one, this is for the real ones and the real ones only.
Okay.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, be a start.
Is that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2?
It's only for the real ones.
Okay, let's spitfire ours, and then you get your vote on. Studded belts outside of the belt loops like Avril. Tom and Jerry morning cartoons on Saturdays. Waiting for the number one music video on Much Music and getting a sore arm from unrolling your car window.
Testing out No Tears shampoo. Running over your finger with one of those stupid heavy plastic roller things in gym class. Being really upset when you damaged your tie tag on your Beanie Baby. And up, up, down, down, left, right, be a start.
Play 107.
Just first of all, wanted to congratulate Jason, who texted in. Lots of you wrote in for the nostalgia off. Jason's picked up a $50 gift card to skip the dishes.
Who else would you like to congratulate?
You for winning.
Thank you. So Lisa's punishment will be she has to go and play really hard in the park by herself for 20 minutes. And the deal was that the winner would go and record it, but I don't feel comfortable recording anything at a playground in elementary school. I don't need to get arrested for this. So you need to find a female friend that will come and record you. Grown men can't record kids at parks.
We're friends. There's not going to be any kids around. We got to go when there's no children.
No, you're finding another friend. I'm not interested.
Whatever.
All right. We're talking about times that you tried to do something super cool and it failed miserably. This text says, the day after a heavy rainfall, I saw a really cute girl while I was riding my bike. I decided I'd pull up next to her and say hello. As I got close to her...
First of all, that is so terrifying. If you're on a walk and someone just like pulls up with their bike, I'd be like,
If you're both kids...
Oh, they're kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
As I got close to her, I started braking and I began to say, hi, I noticed you over here, but I only got as far as hi.
Why?
Before my brakes, which were still wet from the rain, started making a terrifying screeching noise while completely failing to decelerate my bike. I just kept gliding past her with my brakes wailing like a banshee until I was a good 7 feet past her. It was at that point that I decided to abort mission and pedaled away as fast as I could, pretending it didn't happen. Well done.
That is one of those stories, though, that you still to this day cringe about.
A lot of the stories that are coming in are a little cringy. What do you got for us?
Well, I lied to a bunch of friends because I was embarrassed that I was a bit of a late bloomer. And turns out at a group sleepover, somebody did happen to have their period and asked me for a tampon. And I had no idea what a tampon was. My response was, I use other stuff. They didn't buy it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's a good lesson for me with a daughter. Just always be prepared, especially if she has friends coming over for sleepovers.
Well, tell her what a tampon is.
Right.
Absolutely.
And here's a box of them.
There you go.
You got it.
Well, thank you, Jessica. We appreciate the call.
Anytime. Have a great day, guys.
So we decided, with it being National Truth and Reconciliation Day, Orange Shirt Day, that we would do a recommend something today about things we've come across that we found very informative, educational, heartfelt, and just a good tool for continuing our learning.
Yeah, very important. There's a woman named Jade Roberts. She's from Saskatoon, and she started a podcast where she shares stories of residential school survivors to help them recover. As her dad was one of the hundreds of thousands of people forced to attend residential schools in Canada. Her podcast is called Still Here, Still Healing. And each of them, again, are focused on different survivors. So I highly recommend you check that out. Also, if you're ever looking for authentic Indigenous products, buyauthentic.ca is where you can find those.
All right. My recommend something today is a TikTok and Instagram influencer, a Notorious Cree. His name's James Jones. He's actually from Edmonton.
Yes.
And if you have not discovered his social media yet, you need to check it out. He's from Tall Cree First Nation, and he does a lot of just really informative, amazing stuff while showcasing his incredible ability to dance. and just full out embraces the culture, the stories. It's awesome. One of the ones that I really liked was he was explaining his hair and why he wears it long and in braids. And he said, I was taught that as indigenous people, our hair is an extension of our spirit. I always braid my hair with positive thoughts so I can carry that energy with me throughout the day. It wasn't that long ago my people were forced to cut their hair in residential schools. I braid my hair to honor my ancestors. Just really interesting. Every video that I've come across from him, everything that I've seen is awesome.
Yeah.
So Notorious Cree is his name. 3 million TikTok followers.
Yeah, and 1 million on Instagram. So go and give him a follow. It is so worth it.
You had an experience with a friend where she was trying to be really cool and failed miserably.
Well, we were shopping together.
Yeah.
And when she sees someone attractive, she goes for it. So lots of respect for her. She is stunning and hilarious.
Stunning and hilarious. And we have her on the phone. Break down what happened.
Super clumsy, though.
Yeah.
So this one was actually during the pandemic. Lisa and I were shopping at H&M, and I thought that this guy was so cute, and I was determined to give him my number. So I went up to the till, and it had like the plastic partition or whatever dividing me from the cashier. And when I went to pull my bag away after the transaction, I pulled the whole display down, the plastic partition, everything. It fell all over me. It was so embarrassing, and the guy was behind me in line, like, looking. And I looked at Lisa, I'm like, I'm still going to give him my number, right? And she was like, no.
And then she did, and he never called.
Yeah.
But you yelled it across the, like, I ran away because I was so embarrassed. And you're like, should I still give him my number? I'm like, he can hear you. So yeah, I guess.
He was wearing camo, so honestly, I'm glad it didn't work out.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.